Alright, what is going on everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So as you may know, the new Destruction All-Stars update is coming out very soon, but I wanted to make a small Destruction All-Stars video before that update comes out. So today's video is definitely something I've never really done on the channel before. It is a challenge video, and it's a Destruction All-Stars challenge video. Now you may be asking yourself, what can this challenge be? Unless you looked at the title of the video or something. So the challenge I thought of making a video on is if you could actually beat the Destruction All-Stars story mode without using a car. So we actually have a rule book for this challenge. So obviously you cannot use a car, you cannot use your hero vehicle, but one thing you are allowed to do is you're actually allowed to hop on top of a car and do a wreck over. You cannot do a takeover. That is literally going inside a car. You cannot do that, but you can do a wreck over. That's part of the rules. You're allowed to do that. And actually, before I get into doing the challenge, obviously you can see transporter mode is a mode in all the story modes, and you are forced to use a car in that mode. So right off the bat, yeah, we actually can't beat this challenge. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. No, I'm joking. I'm not actually going to end the video like that. So although you can't do one of these modes without a car, I still want to figure out if you could do any of the other modes without a car. So that's technically what this video is going to be. We're going to figure out what modes you can do without a car and what modes you cannot do. Also, since this is a video I usually don't do, consider liking the video if you actually like this idea for a video and if you want to see more of this in the future. Anyways, back to the video. The first mode we have to do in this challenge series is Mayhem. Now, I'm going to do the Ultimo Barricado story mode just because it's the first one you get in the game and it's the free one, so I thought it'd be easier for everyone to understand that story mode, get to know the modes, and just I guess how the whole gimmick of this challenge works. So starting off with Mayhem, it is pretty easy. You just have to wreck cars and beat your rival, which in this case it's Gion. But the thing is, we can't use cars, and you mostly need cars to win Mayhem. So how are we gonna do this one? Well, thankfully for me, Mayhem in the story modes is actually an 8v8 Mayhem. Even if it doesn't mention that, it is an 8v8 Mayhem, which means we could totally let our teammates carry us and let us win the entire match. So obviously I'm not just gonna sit around and have my teammates carry me. So what I thought is I could still technically go on cars and do wreck overs, since that's part of the rules. I'm allowed to do that. So basically the main method with Mayhem in this challenge is I just have to do wreck overs on the opposing team's cars, and that's how you win it. Although wrecking over the cars doesn't really give a lot of points, at least my teammates can actually carry me through most of the game mode. So technically for this game mode, we are mostly safe as long as our teammates are actually smart and know what they're doing. So anyways, most of the match consisted of me doing wreck overs. We're literally just wrecking all the cars on the other team, and in the end, we won the match. Alright, next up we have break time, and oh boy, this mode is a pain in the ass to do without a car. Originally, I had absolutely no clue how I was supposed to do this without a car, because literally all the crates around the map are so scattered. It was like almost impossible to actually do this on time, or like on time with the clock without running out of time. So I did play this game mode a few times and tried finding the best route for the crates and the time bonuses, and I did eventually get a good route for the crates, but there is one big ass issue with this game mode. So getting close to the end of this mode, I realized that there are crates on the outer walls of the arena, and in order to get those crates, you need a car. Now, I was trying a few things to get these crates. I was doing stuff like using my human breaker. I was trying to double jump to the crate. Occasionally it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. Like, you had to be very accurate with trying to get these crates. The first trial I did for this mode, it didn't work. I ran out of time. I thought it was done there. Like, I didn't think there was any way I could actually beat this mode. But after a bit, I was actually fucking around a bit, and then I realized that you could barge up the wall. Yeah, no, I honestly don't know if this is a glitch or not, but if you barge, for some reason it launches Ultimo all the way up the arena wall. I don't know why it does that. I still don't know if that's a glitch or not, but when I launch myself up the wall and I go back down the wall, I just have to adjust myself to the position of the crate, land on it, and that's how you get the crates on the walls. So no, I don't need my human breaker to get up the walls, and no, I don't even need a car to get up the walls. It is actually possible to do break time without a car, even though you really shouldn't be able to do this. I don't even know how that's possible. All right, next up we have yet another mode I didn't even think was possible to do without a car: Crash Course. Now, as you know, the rules of Crash Course is basically another time trial type of deal where you have to go through checkpoints and reach the finish before the time runs out. And with this one, once once again, you need a car to get around the arena, but I don't have a car, so all the checkpoints are so fucking far from each other that I had to take a very long walk to get to each one. And on top of that, Gion and her opponents are all on my ass and I can't avoid them, so I constantly have to be jumping over them and trying to avoid them to not die. Now, I think the main issue with Crash Course in this challenge is the fact that the first few checkpoints are actually so far off from each other that it takes like a whole minute to get to each one. Now, thankfully, when I'm running over to each checkpoint, there's actually a lot of time bonuses that I could get, which give me so much time to get to each checkpoint. Like, I don't know what I would have done without those time bonuses, but if I didn't have those, I would not get through these checkpoints. Like, especially the first few, I would have been done. Now, coming up to these middle checkpoints, there were so many issues with them, such as timing my human breakers perfectly. There were so many platforms that I had to jump across that required a human breaker or a car, but the thing is, the human breaker has a time limit, and because of that time limit, I had to be super precise with what I was doing. Like, right at this moment in the video, I was so close to losing my human breaker and not making that jump. If I didn't jump precisely and I lost my human breaker, that would have been it. That would have been the mode that, like, I would have been done right there, and most likely the time limit would run out and I'd have to redo the challenge. But you have to be super precise with Crash Course. Like, there was no room for error when doing this. Anyways, we beat Crash Course, and honestly, that was probably one of the harder modes, but now we're going on to the next modes. All right, so the next mode is Carnado, and this mode is pretty simple compared to the other modes. It's pretty similar to Mayhem when doing this challenge. You have a team of 8 and you face another team of 8, and since I don't have a car, I can't really contribute much. So the main plan with Carnado is I just had to go around the arena, find people on the other team who had like max cars, and just ruin their day. I had to take over their car and do wreck overs. There wasn't really much else I could do but sabotage the other team, because if I didn't do anything and I didn't contribute, the bots on my team would have just lost it. Like, we would have lost terribly. Now, originally when I was playing Carnado, I thought our team was done with. We were losing by 3 points to Gion's team, and I didn't really think there was much else I could do to win. But thankfully, a bot on my team actually brought their car into the Carnado when it had like 20 points, and it brought our team the victory. We won last second. That bot came in clutch, like, completely. Now, looking at the modes, obviously next one is Transporter, and we can't do that mode. I mean, I did go into the mode and was just kind of checking out what I can do. I was kind of going around the bots that were waiting for a car hopelessly. Obviously, they're getting really impatient, wondering why the fuck I was outside my car and taking photographs with them in photo mode for whatever reason. Sorry, bots. It's just the way it is. It's the mode. I can't use a car. There's no Uber for you today. I mean, although they were pretty pissed off that I couldn't drive my car, I did get a pretty good photo with them. Now, I'm not really sure if I even have to explain this one too. It is really just the same thing as Mayhem and Carnado. Once again, because I can't use a car, I just have to hop onto a bot's car and wreck them over. Because I don't know why, but if you do wreck overs in skirmish, for some reason it counts that as a kill on the bot. I mean, even though in online play that doesn't even count as a kill, for some reason it does on the bots in this, thankfully. And I think what made it worse was the fact that Gion was using their hero vehicle, and I honestly could not keep up with it half of the time. Like, I had to be absolutely perfect with everything I was doing. All these takeovers and shit I was doing, like, I had to be spot on with it. If I messed up one wreck over, Gion would have been ahead by like 2 points. Like, there was no room for error. Now, although Gion was getting pretty close at the end of the match, I did end up getting a lot of people to come near me and let me do some wreck overs, so we did catch up by a few points and we ended up winning the mode, thankfully. So yes, skirmish is also possible to do without a car. I mean, which probably was already known, because you could also do Mayhem without a car. Now, that brings us to the final showdown, where we finally showed Gion that we could kick her ass without using a car. Honestly, to start off, I wasn't even sure how I was supposed to do this one. I mean, Gion brings in a group of crewmates to go attack me. Thankfully, they're all bots and they just get killed right when I do a wreck over. So for the beginning of the showdown, I didn't really have to worry about them that much. It wasn't that much of an issue. I just had to have them come up to me and then I'd hop on their car, do a wreck over. Just simple as that. So after a bit of running around and wrecking over all the crewmates' cars, Gion finally appears, and oh god, she is in her hero vehicle, so I cannot do anything towards her. Well, since I can't wreck over, there's only one other thing I could do, and that is put up the bumpers. Yeah, ending off the showdown, really the only thing I could do to beat her was putting up bumpers. Like, that is the only approach I could have done. Or have her bump in the walls, which Gion is smarter than she looks, so she kind of avoided most of the walls. bumpers. I mean, although the bumpers don't take a lot of damage out of her cart, especially with that update that added buffs to the hero vehicles, I still had plenty of time to beat her. Like, I had an entire 10 minutes to beat her, so we were definitely not running on a time constraint like break time or crash course, so we were honestly doing fine for showdown. But after putting the bumpers up for so long and trying to get her to ram into me, she finally loses the showdown, and she actually loses it in the funniest way possible. She literally hit into one of the trip mines. How do you fuck that up, Gion? You had one job. Like, how did you lose to a man who is not using a car? And anyways, the challenge is won just like that. Ultimo wins without using a car somehow. I don't even know how that was possible, but it was. Well, that is if we're not including transporter into this challenge, but yeah, overall, you can do most of these modes without a car, surprisingly. Okay, anyways, that was the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching the video, and remember to like the video if you actually like this idea and like the whole idea of having a challenge video. I kind of found it pretty fun, and I hope you guys did too. Now, before I end the video, I should mention this quickly because I don't think I actually mentioned it in any of my other videos, but recently I made a Ryanrhino clips channel. So I'm taking the funniest clips or clips I found funny from the main channel and posting it on that channel. Basically, they're in the form of YouTube shorts. If you don't know, that's kind of like just TikTok videos. That's kind of how YouTube shorts work. But usually once every 2 days, I'm gonna post a funny clip on that channel. Go check it out if you haven't. I have uploaded a good amount of security breach clips and some other games that you guys may be interested in or things I've done on the channel, so please consider checking out that channel if you haven't already. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.